Hello there and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullshit. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help entrepreneurs to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. So today we're going to talk about how you recharge yourself. Because let's face it, as an entrepreneur, you're trying to do probably a bajillion things at once. And then if you have a family, roll in family commitments, and it can feel real overwhelming real easily. And I was actually speaking with, I connected with a previous client last week. We were catching up, and I tuned into her energy, and I was like, listen, girl, you're not recharging. You need to actually move the energy out because it's real stagnant. It's feeling really stuck. And she was like, yeah, I know, I can feel it. She said, but I'm journaling and I'm meditating. And I was like, no, you need something like higher energy that shifts all of that stagnant stuff that's going on. It needs to actually move. And I was like, you need to dance, kickboxing, go for a run, something. And I reminded her, or I was telling her about a story how last fall I was feeling really stuck, my energy was feeling ick, and I had been doing the journaling and the meditating and the affirmations and all that stuff, and it didn't seem to shift the energy. And then I went for a run, and I set the intention for this run to be, by the end of this run, I will have moved this energy. I'll have let it go, whatever it is, that it won't come back. It's going to shift it. And I said, I'm not going to stop running until it shifts. And I ran for I ended up running for about 45 minutes, but it wasn't until about minute 50, 42, that the energy actually shifted and I felt it. And it was this black ick, tarish kind of substance had just dissipated. It was gone. And I was like, well, that's excellent, right? And so when it comes to working your business, being present with your family, you really have to have time to recharge yourself. And that's going to look very different for everybody, as is entrepreneurship in general, right? And there are two kind of thoughts that come through here. And there's being an introvert versus an extrovert. Now, that's important to know, but it's not the end all and be all. So depending on who I'm around, I need to do the introverted thing, which is disappear and have time to myself to recharge. Now, there are also plenty of times where, because I'm naturally an extrovert, being around people will recharge me, will give me more energy, will keep me going, which is why this podcast and my YouTube channel are actually very beneficial to me, because it puts me in this extroverted energy, which actually recharges me. So prior to hitting record on this, I was actually grading some papers. It is the end of the semester for some of the classes that I teach. And I was grading papers and I felt my energy starting to dip. And immediately I was like, okay, let me finish grading this set of papers and then it's time for the podcast. I need to bring my energy back up. And so this counts as a recharge for me because, one, it's really, really fun. I love it, right? And it's that extroverted kind of thing because I believe that there are people actually on the other side of my screen listening, paying attention to me. And so that lights me up. That is the extroverted in me that's being recharged. Okay? Now, there are plenty of times where I will, again, depending on who I'm around, I need to be by myself to recharge because maybe their energy is just real wonky and it's all over the place and it just, there's those people, right? And so being able to set aside time to recharge for you to do the tasks that you need to do in your business are going to be really important because your energy comes through your social media, your marketing, your whatever it is, it shows up whether people realize it or not. And so before I sit down to write a post and share something on social media, I will double check my energy. Now, there are times where I don't double check my energy and I just throw something out there to throw something out there, and it usually doesn't land well. But when I'm in a good energy, and I don't mean high vibe all the time where you're like bouncing off the roof kind of things, right? But in a good energy where you're feeling great about it, life is just feels good, right? That's a great time to do the things in your business that you really love, because that's going to come through. So, right? So imagine if I was in a really crappy mood and I decided to record my podcast and my YouTube, right? That would land differently and you probably wouldn't be a subscriber. Right? I'm just being honest about this. And so you do have to find ways that you can recharge throughout the day, because regardless of what your human design is, okay, if you've gone down that rabbit hole, right? Regardless of what your human design is, you have to have the opportunity to recharge during the day. It doesn't matter. As a generator, right? I'm a generator, and so we're like the workhorses of the world. I don't care that I'm a workhorse of the world. I still need time to recharge in between tasks, or, when I'm tackling something large, or even to just decompress at the end of a work day prior to go getting my kids from school. I have to have that time. And sometimes I can do it in as little as 5 minutes. If I'm really pressed for time, I can do it in about 4 breaths. Right? But I do set aside that time to recharge because it's so important to my performance the rest of the day, my productivity, right? So why, again, I think I've made it pretty clear that it's really important, right? But this tends to be a back burner item because people go, oh, well, it's fine. Let me just finish this task. Let me just finish this task. Let me just finish this task, okay? And you can do that, but at some point it's going to catch up to you. And so it makes sense to begin to incorporate it into your day now than to keep kicking the can down the road. Because at some point, you're going to probably be burnt out and exhausted if you're not adequately recharging throughout the day, throughout the week, right? At the bare minimum, you should have a day where you're not checking in on your business and you get to just have fun. I know that probably stung a little bit to some people. But for me, right, and I'll dive into this actually the next episode because I think I talked about it last week and I didn't actually do it, right? But you want to create space in your business because that's probably why you actually started your business, was for some time freedom, for some financial freedom. So you've got to create that space there, right? So find ways that recharge you and do them periodically throughout the day. And maybe just run a little experiment. If you've listened to my podcast long enough, you know that I love these little mini experiments, right? Just to see how things will work for me. I'll take it for 2 weeks, 30 days, whatever. I'll try something out, okay? And if it works, I keep it. If it doesn't work, maybe I modify it. Maybe I just ditch it, right? Depends on the thing. But try it out. See, give yourself, when you take your lunch break, maybe actually take a lunch break and not bring your phone, not bring your computer, not try to get something in between bites. Maybe actually sit and enjoy your lunch and see how that feels. Give yourself an actual lunch break, because as an entrepreneur, you're setting the tone for everybody else in your business. You're setting the tone for your kids too. And if you can't take a break, they're not going to think that they can take a break. And quite frankly, nobody wants to live like that, right? So I'm sending you so much love. This is a short and sweet one, but I'm excited for the next episode. We're going to dive into some more time freedom stuff, right? The real reason that you started your business and how to make that work. So I'm sending you so much love. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. And if you are an entrepreneur and you need support in balancing your work and life, please reach out to me. This is my wheelhouse. This is where I thrive. This is where I help my clients the most, because let's face it, we want the most out of life. This is why we started businesses, right? But your business should be working for you, not you working for your business. So I'm sending you so much love. If you do need help, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am currently accepting private clients, and I am so excited for what's going to come through with them in the upcoming months. So, as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye.